So I saw this, and I saw the 2 days ago, and I'm like, okay, this must have been back from like, April or, March. Like this was an April Fool's kind of article because games like Bloodborne should be nicer when you die. And they show this. Like you died. At least you tried. But then it was legitimately just 2 days ago. As of right now, it is May 12th. So it was 2 days ago. This was not an April Fool's joke. No. Um, Andrew King, the dude who wrote it, of course, on Twitter, has got it protected. He, him, Polygon, GameSpot. So obviously a true gamer here. Um, As this happened to you, you're slowly making your way through Bloodborne's forbidden woods, carefully rolling to take out the sniper who loves to shoot you from the other side of the bridge, slicing your saw cleaver through his guts, then cautiously moving on. You softly step out along the forest trail, only to hear a mechanical clank as a spiked log falls loose and swings down from the trees into your hunter. It instantly kills you as you lie there dying, your echoes pooling on the cobblestone. You see two words appear on the screen in blood red. You died. If the ever-raging debate about whether from software games are too difficult or whether they should have an easy mode, what is it with journalists and easy mode? This is why that meme exists of journalist mode, because these fucking people seem to be incapable of playing games. Like, there is a difference between, like, right now, I'm playing through Twilight Princess again. I haven't played through Twilight Princess since, like, 2007. So I just did the Lakebed Temple, which is already confusing enough as it is. And taking out the other stuff that I was doing in between before I got to Lakebed Temple and the stuff afterwards, the video itself is only about an hour long. Again, the whole thing isn't Lakebed Temple. That's, me doing some stuff before I even enter the Lakebed Temple, and then I think like a few things afterwards. But the entire video itself is just like an hour. While in there, yeah, it's like, wow, I don't remember doing most of this because I did it back in like 2006 when the game first came out, and then I might have played it once again in like 2007. But I got through because it's like, oh yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Oh, oh yeah, it's this way. Not remembering something, that's one thing. When you don't remember, it becomes difficult. But then once you remember, you're like, oh yeah, this is easy. But then you have people like these journalists who outright suck at these games. That I read an article about from this woman who was complaining that the tutorials for Tomb Raider were too hard. She got stuck on it for hours trying to make a single jump. A tutorial level to teach you how to play the game. There's also one that's been online with Cuphead. The tutorial in the beginning. It shows this dude, and it's sped up like 5, 6, 7 times faster than need be, just to show how long he was actually doing it. And then on the side of it, it's got like this 5-year-old, and he's doing the tutorial just fine. This is why no one trusts gaming journalists, because they're not real gamers. They can say they are, but when push comes to shove and putting into practice, these people are constantly whining about, oh, there should be an easy mode. I read one last time like, oh, is the age of skippable bosses finally approaching? Like, why would you want to skip the boss? The boss is a culmination of everything you've learned up to that point. These aren't gamers. An easy mode, or more important question, is being overlooked. Namely, should these games hurt my feelings? Again, I thought this was an April Fool's joke. You died, and that's okay. Though I thought about this a lot last year when I played through Silent Hill 2. I tackled Bloober Team's remake in one of the 2 days you're legally required to play it, early enough in the morning that it was still dark outside. Note, the other option obviously is late at night, but I love the grind. Those bleary-eyed sessions led me to dying more than I probably would have if I was probably properly caffeinated, which means Silent Hill 2's "You Died" screen is burned into my brain. I tried to keep James stocked up on the special juice and dirty needles, but it wasn't always easy to find healing items in the game's hellacious apartments and apocalyptic streets. The puker be pukin', the grabber be grabbing, and James gotta run. Oh, just kill me now. When you get to a particularly tricky part of any game, you get well acquainted with the game over screen. You know it's coming, and it's usually accompanied by an ominous sound effect to really drive home your failure. When you're when you're taking on a FromSoft boss over and over, you get used to hammering on the X button, trying to push through this acknowledgement of your failure and getting back to the game as soon as possible to do the whole humiliating ritual all over again. Unfortunately, the truth is that From Software games aren't actually being mean. Well, the log trap is mean, but in a funny way. You can easily imagine Hidetaka Miyazaki and the team laughing at each new player who falls for it, like the Jackass crew during the high five prank. The game over screen isn't particularly nasty. Saying "you died" isn't unkind per se. It's just truthful and blunt. It kind of reminds me of playing a tough game with an annoying friend on the couch next to you. "You're dying a lot." "Yeah, thanks for your input." Nobody wants to be confronted with their failure. So when the game mocks us, or even just plainly states the facts of our performance, it can be difficult to hear. Games have actually been mean for decades. I mean, look at freaking Friday the 13th. Actually, let me bring it up for you. So this is the Friday the 13th one for the NES. You're dead, your friends are dead, your family's dead, your fucking pets are being skinned alive, your mom's a fucking whore, you suck at life, the whole world hates you, you're going to hell, live with it. Game over. I'm kidding, that's not actually. That was from Angry Video Game Nerd. Here's the actual one. You and your friends are dead. Game over. This was back in the 80s. So, I find that more, not even offensive, but that's a bit more harsh than say, "you died." I mean, you and your friends are dead. Game over. Um, where were we? Decades, and realistically, we're at an all-time high for niceness. Yeah, because of fucking people like you. We're like, "Oh, the game hurted my feelings. It hurts my fake vagina when I play it and lose. Can't there be an easy mode?" The original Wolfenstein games famously showed BJ. Ha 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 ha. That's funny because you got BJ and they got sucking. A binky and a baby bonnet. If you set the game to easy mode, which was called "Can I Play Daddy?" The trend continued through the most recent entry, Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus, but the mocking attitude is an outlier in the modern audience landscape, and frankly, kind of at odds with the tone of the newer games. There's no real shame in knocking a game down to easy. Again, why is it that every fucking journalist seems to have a problem playing any game that isn't on easy? Because they're not gamers. They're not journalists. They're activists. Again, being stuck on a tutorial level for hours, not just, okay, I see what I'm doing now. No, they were set for hours. And the dude tried to help him out. She wasn't listening. And then once she did what the guy had suggested in the first place, it's like, oh, these aren't gamers. They're not. The thing is, games being nice doesn't actually ease the frustration when you lose a ton of progress in getting over it with Bennett Foddy. It doesn't help that Foddy reads a quote about success requiring repeated failure in dulcet tones. I played the game, like when it first came out. I still have it. I was actually thinking about playing it again. Similarly, I found myself annoyed whenever I died in this week's Revenge of the Savage Planet. Not because the game wasn't nice. No, it was because each death sent me back to my home on the home base that's on Starting World. And if I died on a game, completely different planet, I'd rather a game call me a full diaper baby who will die alone when I die than make me do something repetitive for no good reason. Well, it teaches you to get good. Because clearly you're not learning from your fucking mistakes. That's what normal gamers do. They go play a game, they die. They think about why they died, and they learn from it. That's why these people are able to go into these incredibly what they would these journalists would be impossible boss fights and just do laps around them because they know all their tricks, they know all their strategies, they know all the moves that are coming their way, and they know when to dodge, when to attack. That's what most gamers do. They learn from their mistakes and improve themselves so that way it doesn't keep happening. But these aren't gamers. These games can't take the sting out of the failure because the sting is sometimes something we bring with us. The tenor of gaming culture's discussions around difficulty in getting good can increase or decrease the amount of shame we feel when we're bad at a game. Sure, but failure only hurts if you let it. Well, clearly these games have hurt you to the point where you're letting it bother you. Because all you journalists are complaining about wanting a freaking easy mode. Or, oh, we should be able to skip bosses because you're so terrible at these games. Still, I wouldn't mind if games started calling me handsome and smart. Well, in order for it to call you smart, you'd have to learn from your mistakes in the game, which you're clearly not able to do. With the Dark Souls game over screen, saying, "You have not yet won, you special boy, but you will soon, surely. Really be so much to ask?" Don't cry, play Mario. Game over! Or better yet, get thicker skin and don't get offended when a game tells you that you failed. Seriously, you call yourself a bunch of gaming journalists, yet none of you can handle a game saying how bad you are. You can't handle games insulting you, you can't stand criticism from commentators, and you can't handle when a game company does something you don't like. Why are you even in the field of business if all you're going to do is show how upset you get over the smallest of things? Games are not for you. Games are not for you, or you can't handle real games. Stick to preschool VTech games if that's all you can handle. And get good, casual. Just glad someone's like, get good, casual. But yeah, I thought this was an April Fool's joke. But these journalists are constantly complaining about how hard games are when a lot of these games younger kids are playing with ease. Again, this shows a video of a dude struggling with a tutorial for Cuphead. This person well in their 20s or 30s, and then you have a 5-year-old doing it no problem. Maybe the game isn't the issue. Maybe you are. Is that a possibility? And instead of learning how to play these games and learning from your mistakes in these games and actually getting better, you're like, oh, there should be a super easy mode for us. And, we should be able to skip bosses. And then don't play the fucking game. Go fucking play Candy Crush or fucking Solitaire or some other bullshit. And just don't play the games then. Because obviously you're not mentally capable of handling an actual game. Not capable of learning from your mistakes and learning how to overcome the obstacle that you just failed from. Because anyone If they're going through a level and they see why they died, guess what? The next time they go through that level, they do what they need to avoid what killed them in the first place. It's like Crash Bandicoot. You know, when you're getting chased by something, you've got that front perspective and you see Crash running, and then you accidentally fall into a crevice. Well, the next time you know, oh hey, there's that crevice there. I have to jump. You learn from it. You don't say, oh well, this Crash level is way too hard. There should be a way to make it easier. So the game's not being hard. It's not hard. It's just that you fucking suck. It's simple as that. And these people want to call themselves gaming journalists. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.